Every city has stories people swear are true. Most of them aren't. But this one, no one can explain. There was a man who visited the same casino every single night. He wasn't rich. He wasn't famous. He wasn't even particularly lucky. Yet everyone, from the dealers to the security guards, recognized him. Not because he won, because he never seemed able to leave. Each evening, he arrived with a small stack of chips. Each night, that stack grew smaller. Sometimes it vanished completely, and every time, he would gather what little he had left, stand up, and begin walking toward the exit. He would reach the doors, place his hand on the handle. Then, he would stop. For several long seconds, he would simply stare through the glass at the world outside. Cars passing, people laughing, a life continuing without him. Then, without a word, he would turn around, walk back to the tables, exchange his remaining money for more chips, and start playing again. Night after night, month after month, people tried to stop him. Friends pleaded with him. Dealers quietly suggested he go home. Even the casino staff wondered why he kept coming back when all he ever seemed to do was lose. The strange part wasn't that he kept gambling. It was that he always looked as though he wanted to leave, as though something invisible stood between him and the exit. Then one night, a new dealer noticed something no one else had, and after asking the man a single question, everything changed. The man hadn't always been like this. Years earlier, he had walked into the casino with nothing more than curiosity. A few friends had invited him along. Just for fun, they said. He brought only the amount he was willing to lose. Nothing more. On his first night, fortune smiled on him. A few careful bets turned into a modest win. Not enough to make him rich. Just enough to make him believe he understood the game. He left smiling. The next weekend, he returned. This time, luck wasn't as kind. His winnings disappeared. Then, some of his own money. He glanced at the clock. He had reached the limit he'd promised himself. It was time to go. He stood up. But before taking a step, a thought crossed his mind. If I leave now, everything I won last week was for nothing. So he sat back down. Just one more round. Instead of winning it back, he lost even more. Now the voice in his head changed. I've already lost this much. If I stop now, I'll never get it back. Another bet, another loss, another promise that the next one would be different. Hours slipped away unnoticed. By sunrise, the money he had planned to lose was long gone. He walked home exhausted, telling himself it had only been a bad night. Next time will be different, but the same story repeated itself. Every visit began with a plan. Every visit ended with a reason to stay just a little longer. When his savings began to shrink, he told himself he couldn't quit now. Not after everything he had already lost. When he borrowed money, he believed walking away would make the debt meaningless. When he emptied his emergency fund, leaving felt impossible. Surely one good night would erase every bad decision. Surely the next hand, the next spin, the next roll would make everything right again. The casino became less about winning and more about undoing the past. Months turned into years. His friends stopped asking him to come home. His family stopped arguing. Even the dealers knew exactly what would happen. Every night, the man would rise from his chair, walk toward the exit, pause at the door, and return to the tables, as though leaving would somehow make every previous loss real. Then one quiet evening, an elderly dealer watched him reach for another stack of chips. Instead of taking the money, the dealer looked him in the eyes and asked, "If someone handed you exactly this amount of money today, would you choose to spend it all in this casino?" The man looked down at the chips in his hands. For the first time in years, he couldn't answer. The story isn't really about a casino. It never was. Because most people who become trapped like this never touch a deck of cards. Some stay in relationships that stopped making them happy years ago. Not because they're hopeful, because they've already invested too much to leave. Some pour more money into failing businesses. Not because the future looks promising, but because they can't bear the thought that everything they've already spent might have been for nothing. Some remain in careers they secretly hate. They tell themselves, I've already spent 10 years getting here. So they stay another 10. Some finish books they no longer enjoy. Watch movies they stopped liking an hour ago. Continue arguments they've already lost. Not because they're gaining anything, but because walking away feels like admitting defeat. And that's the strange trap hidden inside the human mind. The more we've already sacrificed, the harder it becomes to stop sacrificing. We stop making decisions based on tomorrow. Instead, we let yesterday make them for us. The man wasn't trapped by locked doors. He wasn't trapped by security guards. He wasn't even trapped by the casino. He was trapped by a single question he never dared to ask himself. If I could start over today, would I choose this again? Because sometimes, the hardest prison to escape is the one built from our own past decisions. The man believed he was chasing a win, but he wasn't. Long before he lost his money, he had begun chasing something else. A chance to erase the past. He wasn't trying to become rich. He was trying to make his previous losses feel worthwhile. Because there's something about the human heart that struggles to accept a painful truth. Not every investment will pay off. Not every choice will lead where we hoped. Not every chapter deserves another page. Yet we often convince ourselves that quitting is the same as failing. So we stay. Not because staying is wise, but because leaving feels unbearable. We mistake persistence for courage. We confuse endurance with wisdom. And sometimes we keep pouring pieces of our future into something that can no longer give anything back. The cruelest part is this. The past never asks for repayment. It asks only to be accepted. Yesterday doesn't become less painful because we sacrifice tomorrow. A broken relationship isn't repaired simply because we stayed longer. A failing dream doesn't become successful simply because we invested more. Time cannot be recovered by spending even more time. The man at the casino thought the exit was behind him. It wasn't. The real exit appeared the moment he stopped asking, how do I get back what I've already lost? And started asking, what choice gives me the best future from this moment forward? That is the quiet truth hidden beneath the tale. Sometimes the bravest decision isn't holding on. Sometimes it's having the courage to let go. Psychologists have a name for what trapped the man. It's called the sunk cost fallacy. A sunk cost is anything you've already spent that you can never get back. Money, time, energy, effort, even love. Once it's gone, it's gone. Logically, those past costs should have no influence on the decisions we make next. Imagine someone offers you two choices. The first, continue investing in something that's unlikely to succeed. The second, walk away and use your remaining time, money, or energy on something with a better future. Pure logic says the second option is often the better one. After all, the past cannot be changed. Only the future can. Yet our brains rarely work that way. Instead of asking, what is the best decision from this moment forward? We ask, how can I make everything I've already spent worth it? That's the trap. The more we've invested, the more painful it feels to let go. Ironically, that pain often convinces us to invest even more. Behavioral economists and psychologists have repeatedly found that people become more committed to failing decisions after making large investments of time, money, or effort, instead of evaluating the future on its own merits. We let the weight of the past pull our judgment off course. It's why investors hold collapsing stocks long after they should sell. Why businesses continue funding projects that clearly aren't working. Why people remain in unhappy relationships because they've already spent years together. Why students stay in degrees they no longer want. Why someone finishes a terrible movie simply because they've already watched an hour. Notice the pattern. The decision is no longer about what comes next. It's about justifying what came before. But the past doesn't care what you do today. It won't refund your time. It won't return your money. And it won't rewrite your mistakes. The only thing today's decision can change is tomorrow. That's why one of the most powerful questions you can ask yourself is this. Knowing everything I know today, if I were starting from zero, would I choose this again? If the answer is yes, keep going with confidence. But if the answer is no, remember this. Walking away doesn't waste your past. Sometimes it protects your future.